Advance and be recognized, everyone, and welcome to the Sitrep podcast, your forward operations base for all things military and historical wargaming. I am your host, Oriskany Jim, and today we're back to finish up last week's Vietnam war game, recreating some of the hill fights around the Khe Sanh fire support base in April and May of 1967. The system we're using is an experimental modern-era update of Avalon Hill's classic Panzer Leader system, along with plenty of rules and charts brought in from the Arab-Israeli Wars edition, along with the Tactical Combat Middle East expansion. I'm playing the NVA, while my friend Damon is playing the US Marines. Now, we covered the background for these battles last week. There's a link to that episode in the description of this video. Check it out if you're interested in that material. But in summary, let's just say that Khe Sanh was a very important Marine Corps airfield and fire support base, tucked way up in the corner of South Vietnam, near the demilitarized zone and the Laotian border. This put Khe Sanh very close to the Ho Chi Minh Trail, thus threatening communist lines of communication and supply coming down through Laos. Therefore, the NVA, or North Vietnamese Army, wanted Khe Sanh shut down. To do this, their objective was going to be to take all of the hills and high ground north and west of the Khe Sanh fire support base, thereby giving communist artillery a crucial ranging advantage that they would use to bombard Khe Sanh into dust. The Marines, of course, were not about to put up with that trash, so in Operation Prairie IV, Marines of 3rd Marine Regiment, 3rd Marine Division, moved to retake these hills and high ground and thus deny these elevated firing positions from communist artillery. The first big objective was Hill 861. Now, the 1st Marine attempt to take this hill wound up as kind of a bloodbath, unfortunately, so the Marines backed off, plastered the objective with artillery and airstrikes, and sent in a much larger force the next day. This time, they took the objective with relatively few casualties on 29th April 1967. From here, the Marines would pivot west toward Hills 881 North and 881 South, and this is the engagement we have on our table today, on the 30th of April 1967. So we have elements of 2nd and 3rd Battalions, 3rd Marine Regiment, trying to take these hills from the 18th Regiment of the NVA 325C Division. The NVA are deeply dug in, however, but perhaps more ominously, completely hidden. That's right, we're experimenting with hidden deployment in this scenario. Now, my NVA units have deployed on the 2 objective hills that they're trying to defend, and then the counters were all covered up with 9 concealment panels. And each of these concealment panels is only going to be revealed when Damon sends in one of his ground units into that particular patch of jungle. This has already led to some classic Vietnam moments, like where Marines marched right past an entire entrenched NVA company, complete with recoilless rifle support, and the Marines had no idea they were there until the NVA opened fire on them, of course. There was another Marine rifle company that walked straight into another NVA position, leading to an immediate ambush and close assault. We've also had revealed NVA units withdraw deeper back into the jungle and thus slipping back under some of those concealment panels, so they've pretty much disappeared from the map. As far as Damon knows, his units caught a fistful of AK fire, and then the enemy has vanished back into the jungle. We've also had NVA rocket barrages, UH-1E Huey helicopter gunship machine gun runs, and Marine Corps gun trucks pouring absolute rivers of tracer fire into the tree line. Again, check out part 1 if you're interested. So this game is going to last 10 turns, and so far we've completed 5. Damon's objectives are to take both Hills 881 North and 881 South. If he takes one of them, the game is considered a draw. If he takes neither, of course, it's a Marine loss. Now, historically, the Marines were able to take one of these hills and not the other on this day, and as you guys know, the historical result is usually where we draw the line when it comes to victory conditions. Now, so far, Damon is closing in on Hill 881 North. He's got the top of the hill in sight. How about we head back over to the footage and we see if Damon's leathernecks can carry the day. Okay, now into American turn 6. The 105s have splattered on this fort and not really done anything new. And yeah, we did have a lot of direct fire that cleaned out this improved position finally, and we're now into American movement. And now we're going to bring in some of the rest of Gulf Company, 2nd Battalion, 3rd Marines, on their great big seahorses, or as I like to call them, the surfing bird. Alright, so he's going to land, you said, in 802?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So he is now landed. and therefore these two guys are on the deck.
So the mules will overrun the improved position.
Split movement and fire, you only get to use half their movement, so because he fired this turn, his movement is technically only 6. So 1, 2, or no, 1, 2, you can get that far, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
Okay. Are the gunships doing anything?
Yes, they're going to, they'll just go to 902 for now.
Okay.
So they're covering the landing.
Classic Vietnam scene there. This gun truck and regular truck column is trundling up this highway. This lead gun truck moved 3.5 movement points. Again, in road, trucks are doubled. And once he gets there, he is now going to trigger this reveal panel. Okay, yeah, we've got some more enemy units. Yeah, it was a good time to unload, because he is technically safe, because he's behind intervening terrain, Hex 611 there. Actually, so is he. Never mind, that whole column is technically safe. At least from these jokers. I think we're done with movement. Was there any other movement from you, Mr. Damon?
No, I think that's everything, thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go quickly to NVA turn 6. So I'm going to call on my artillery for turn 7. Cool. I'm going to look at my artillery that lands this turn. 1004. I don't remember where 1004 was. Oh, cool, I hit something. So my 130s do hit. That is going to be 16 points versus 8, 2 to 1. He's out in open field there. So 2 to 1. 2, that's a kill.
Ouch.
That's it for my artillery. Direct fire. So, okay, officially pass on direct fire except for trying to rally my mortars. This time they did rally. I have to, in spite of myself and my naturally, I'm very aggressive when I play Panzer Leader. Deny battle. Alright, that's going to wrap it up. NVA turn 6 is now complete. Okay, Marine turn 7 starts off with more Marine artillery. They've shifted their 2 batteries of 105s a little bit to the south. You're aiming at, what was your hex number again, David?
604.
Cool, so it's a blind mission. These headquarters units way over here on Hill 681. They're calling in missions with binoculars. They can see that no problem. These woods are not intervening terrain because they're on an elevation level lower than his actual ground hex. Now, he does have to pay the +1 DRM penalty for a blind mission. So, it is 36 total points. Add 1 for woods, add 1 for blind mission. And it affects both targets individually. So the first one is going to be 6 to 1. What did you roll on that one?
6.
A 6 becomes an 8 on 6 to 1. That is dispersed. And the other one is 9 to 1, 36 versus 9. Again, you're adding 2 to the die roll.
4 comes a 6.
He is smoked. Alright, Damon, you're moving in with these 3 infantry units here?
Yep. Yeah, they're going to close assault the easternmost unit.
Alright, so they came out of these trucks, they unloaded last turn. They're not going up any double slopes, and they don't pay for woods because they're infantry. So I'm just making sure everything's cool and kosher. Also that they don't trigger opportunity fire from these guys. No, because they're nice and close behind lots of woods. Okay, cool, so there's no worries there. They will trigger some opportunity fire from these guys. So we've got a total of 12. I'll see if I can pick on the Marine Weapons Platoon. That is going to be 2 to 1 odds. 2 destroyed them.
The helicopter will land at 8:14.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's why he triggered opportunity fire. Okay, cool. So, yeah, by doing that, he triggered this opportunity fire, so I would not have a chance to take ground fire against this other seahorse coming in, and then landing. Unload, I'm assuming?
Yes, please.
Was there any other movement?
The gun trucks can they move off-road? They can't move through the woods, can they?
No, you cannot move them into woods. These are like super woods. They're Vietnamese jungle hexes.
Let's push the empty truck, not the gun truck, but the empty truck along the road. See what he triggers.
Oh, okay. He's Patton's reconnaissance rule. Advance down this road until you get blown up. Okay, what's underneath that panel? You've uncovered NVA bicycles. Oh no!
Charge the bicycles with the truck.
Run his ass over. Fortunately for him, he's safe in woods. You can take bicycles into woods, but not a big truck. There is another 82mm mortar battery in there, so word to the wise.
He's going to keep going then.
Oh, he's going to get in this X?
Yep.
Alright. And there is the bulk of remaining enemy defenses, including some nice big Chinese-made 120mm mortars. Or Chinese knockoff of Soviet M43s. There's the other enemy fortification, complete with the BM-21 Grad rockets. Again, stripped off the truck, it's not the entire Grad. Yeah, there's the other Hornet's nest.
Yep. I think that's everything, movement-wise, isn't it?
Cool. Alrighty, so I don't think that close assault in the north is still legal. Okay, this one's still on. We have a grand total of 14 versus 12. 1 to 1, subtract 1 from the die roll.
2 becomes a 1.
That smoked them both. Wow. Well, you needed a good roll. That was the time. Let me see if this one's legal. 7 versus 15. 10 for the fort, and then 5 for the defense factors in there. That all gets added together. So that's going to be a grand total of 15 versus 7. It's 1 to 3. And you're adding 1 to the die roll. You might disperse somebody.
3 becomes a 4.
No. Oh, and then was there also going to be a close assault here?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So that is going to be 14 versus 6 is 2 to 1. Subtract 2 from the die roll, and a double D will do it.
5 becomes a 3.
5 becomes a 3 on 2 to 1, but because a double D kills, because he's already dispersed, there you go. That takes care of him as well. That's him also destroyed. Okay, that I think is going to wrap up American turn 7. I don't think those two Hueys moved and did anything.
No. They're going to come south and cover the landing. So they'll orbit round 10-14, so they can't get shot at down there, can they?
No. NVA turn 7 is kind of a non-event. I dropped my artillery on this other 81mm mortar position back here, but I rolled a 6. We're going to launch a 12 to 2, 14 to 2, a 7 to 1 close assault against this empty truck and blow him up without using any dice because, again, 7 to 1 close assault in woods. So it's 7 to 1 minus 1 from the die roll. I'd have to roll a 9 to miss. So, and I'm doing that in such a way to where I never expose myself to opportunity fire from these gun trucks. And everybody else is either falling back, getting into improved positions or fortifications, because the Marines are coming up the hill here. I gotta be careful. So yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up my turn. We then go to turn 8, and we'll see what Damon has in store for us. Any thoughts so far, Mr. Damon?
We're going to do a lot more damage, I think, but I don't know if we're actually going to secure the second objective. I think I'm going to run out of time. Turn 11, I think, would see it done, but say we've only got till turn 10, so...
Okay, so now we're into American turn 8. The artillery missed, but he's calling his new artillery. And then, Damon, do I hear a noise coming out of the southeast?
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh, what's that?
Airstrike is coming in up hilltop.
2 F-4 Phantoms out of Da Nang. Here they come. There's no air defense worthy of the name here. Okay, and you're going to drop them on the fortress here?
Yes, please.
The fortification? They don't double because it's H in parentheses. It's considered an area effect weapon. Alright, so it is 30 versus 12, 30 versus 12, and 30 versus 13.
So, first shot is a 1.
Okay, a 1. Now we are adding 2 for the fort and 1 for the woods. So that becomes a 4 on 2 to 1. Yeah, he's definitely dispersed. That's the heavy mortar barrage. Okay, rinse and repeat for the big rocket battery.
4 becomes a 7.
2 to 1 is no effect. And then same for the headquarters unit.
5 becomes an 8.
Alright, that's no effect there. And then what makes it important now is that you follow up with artillery or with helicopter gunship rocket strikes.
Yep.
Right,
The gunships are coming in.
Okay, so these work a little bit differently. These are going to be coming in. They are direct fire weapons. So they do double within half range, but they don't affect everything in the hex. So they each have a 15-point rocket strike, but they double once you get within half range. So they're within half range now. We'll just say that they're at a higher altitude, so they can see over all these trees and so forth. So, which unit are you going to target?
The unit that's already dispersed.
Alright, so if you put in both of them, it's 60 versus 12, that's 5 to 1. You're only adding 2 to the die roll. And a total deal do it.
2.
He smoked.
4.
And that was my most powerful artillery thing left. Alright, so that takes care of air and helicopters. We now go to direct fire, if there is any.
No, I don't think so.
Alright, first of all, let's try to rally this rifle platoon.
3.
He rallies, but that was his turn. The other guy can participate in a close assault. I'm assuming this guy's coming in for a close assault as well?
Yep,
okay,
please.
sorry.
Is there range, Jim?
Range is 8.
They'll move to the improved position on the hilltop.
Oh, there you go. 1, 2,
and they can direct
5,
fire.
6. There you go. Hey, someone's learning how to play Panzer Leader. I like it. Awesome. Any other... we haven't done all this movement here to the south.
They'll move 2 hexes so that they're 2 hexes away from the fire base, ready to close assault.
2 hexes away from the who?
From the fort. So that'll do.
Oh, okay.
And then they're close enough to close assault next turn.
Oh, I see. We're saving up for a big one next turn.
Yeah.
These guys are gonna do something similar.
Is there woods under the Phantoms?
No. They can occupy that IP though.
Yeah, because then they'll be in position to.
They can close assault either target next turn.
Yep. Oh, the mortar. Got the mortar.
Yeah, you do have a mortar left.
Yeah, the units next to the Phantoms.
Okay, he can see those, so it's going to be 12 versus 4 is 3 to 1. He is adding 3 to the die roll though. 2 for the improved position and 1 for the
6 becomes a 9.
That's nothing. Next for the mortars, it's 4 to 1. Add 3 to the die roll.
5 becomes 8.
And then 6 to 1 on the heavy weapons. I'm sorry, on the recoilless rifles.
3 becomes a 6.
That was on 6 to 1. He smoked. So here we go with the close assault. We got 21 points versus 15. 1 to 1. Add 1 to the die roll.
3 becomes a 4.
That dispersed them both. Alright, so I think that wraps up American turn 8, unless I'm missing something. Cool, we'll start with NVA turn 8.
I pulled out a bit too soon up there.
Well, what happened here, for this, the recording wasn't going, guys, but for people watching this later, the NVA off-board 130mm howitzers rolled a 1 and a 2. They got a hell of a lucky roll. That's 1 out of 6 and 1 out of 3. So that's a 1 out of 18 roll, and they just evaporated 2 Marine platoons on that open objective hex. Okay, we're now at the top of the 9th, and Damon has recorded his new artillery, and your current artillery is landing where, Mr. Damon?
612 on the improved position next to the fort.
Ooh, on the improved position. Okay, even better. Alright, so that's 36 points versus 4, 9 to 1 odds. They're now spotted because they fired at these Marines to no avail last turn. So there's no longer a +1 for that. Yeah, 9 to 1, add 3 to the die roll.
5 becomes an 8.
That still kills him at 9 to 1. Okay, it's even worse. It's 12 to 1. 36 to 3.
1.
Yep. He didn't need a 1 there, but that definitely got the job done. And that improved position is now hella smoked. Sweet. Okay, we then go to the air phase. So these Phantoms do have a second airstrike, and then that's going to be it for them. They don't have any guns. So did you want to use them now, or are you saving it for turn 10?
Both of them on the fort, please.
On the same fort?
Yep.
Alright, so, cool. We've got a grand total of 60 points coming in here. So we've got 60 points versus 12. That's going to be 5 to 1. But again, you do have to add 3 to the die roll.
Okay, so...
And this affects everything in the hex.
5.
5 becomes an 8 on 5 to 1. That is going to disperse them. And then same for the headquarters unit.
5 again.
Alright, well, at least that disrupts my artillery. Because again, for the NVA, only their headquarters unit can call in artillery missions, and you can't do it when he's dispersed. That concludes the airstrikes. These guys are now done. Because notice they don't have any factors printed on them. These are the Vietnam era Phantoms with no guns installed. Then we go to direct fire. You've got the mules, and you've also got the Iroquois gunships. They fired off their rockets, but they still have their machine guns.
Yep, those boys will all fire into the fort.
Okay, so we've got 2 6s here, I-class weapons, and we've got 2 16s here that do not divide, because again, they are A-star class weapons. So we are looking at 44.
Let's try and take out the HQ.
Now the difference here is that you're only adding 2 to the die roll instead of 3, and a double D will kill them.
4.
So 4 on 3 to 1 becomes a 6 on 3 to 1. Ah, you literally just missed them. But here comes the close assault.
Yep.
Alright, let's go ahead and just resolve that. We're doing the turn sequence a little out of order here, folks. Hey, here's the good news. There's no opportunity fire going in. Those rockets would not be pleasant to walk into. Alright, so here we've got 21, make that 31 versus 15. It's 2 to 1. You subtract 2 for a close assault. You subtract 1 because everyone in there is dispersed. And that is a total of subtract -3. That completely counteracts the +2 for fort, +1 for woods. It is 2 to 1. Add nothing. Yeah.
1! Yes, go
That's
on.
it, they're smoke. You didn't even need it. Before would have done it, because again, a double D will destroy them. Alright, cool. So that one worked. Then we go up here to this close assault. This is going to be tougher because there's fewer Marines involved. 14 versus 15, it's 1 to 2. Yeah, just roll, because we have to apply different modifiers, because one of them's dispersed, one of them isn't. Clearly, now is a good time to roll another one.
I'll roll a 5 instead.
Okay, so a 5 on 1 to 2, that's not going to do anything. Alright, but before we forget, we still have this infantry to move. 1, 2. Does that look right?
Yeah, he's not exposing himself to any fire yet.
Because these jokers might try to get cute and reoccupy the fort or the objective X, you still have to take that.
Yep. The other unit in the centre of the board, they're going to have to turn around and go back north again. Yep. The 2 hexes that still might have infantry. So the gun trucks are going to go as far as they can up the road to try and uncover. They're going to keep going up the road.
Okay, they go into that hex there, and that triggers the last thing. Oh, you have uncovered the bicycle, sir.
Have they got enough movement as gun trucks? I thought you said they were only movement 8.
No, movement 10.
10. Oh yes, the other trucks are 12. Yeah.
Yeah, they're slower than regular trucks because they're carrying all that sandbags and plate metal and all that shit.
Yeah, that'll do. I think that's everything.
Okay, we go to NVA turn 9. NVA turn 9. Let me write down my artillery for my last turn. Okay, we then go to turn for my existing artillery. It misses because my command post is destroyed. I forgot about that. So why am I calling in new artillery? Never mind, I'm not calling in new artillery. Scratching that off. I forgot my command post is destroyed. Never mind, those 130mm howitzers are out of the game. Cool, so now we go to movement phase. Alright, I gotta do it. I will try to rally my mortars. There's the 6. They did not rally. How would you even handle that? Bicycles, close assaulting landed helicopters. It's illegal, is the short version. Because I have an attack of... I know we're kind of kidding around, but on a serious note, bicycle of 2 is the attack factor, and defense for the helicopter is 16. That's usually when they're up in the air, so when they're landed, they usually like to divide them in half. But still, it'd be 2 to 4, it'd be 1 to 4 odds. So it's not even really legal at that point. I will have them move into the fort, though, just so they don't get destroyed by the gun trucks. Alright, cool. So now we go to turn 10. Okay, we begin with your artillery, sir.
I have to cancel the mission because it's coming in on the the improved position that I've already occupied.
Oh no! Check your fire, River Bravo 2! Check your fire!
Broken arrow!
Red leg! Red leg! River Bravo 2! Check your fire! Check your fire!
We then go to direct fire. Ooh, we have enemy troops in the open.
Yep.
It's a stupid move, but if I can hold it for one more turn, probably can't, but you never know.
Oh, the mortar.
Oh yes. All right, so we've got 12 for the mortar because again, Arabs really were rules for M-class units, and we're using it in a direct fire roll. 32. Oh man, this is a lot. So 56 divided by 4. Oh man, 14 to 1 odds. They're smoked because they have no bonuses. They're in the open. You can roll a d6 to make you feel better, but I think you'd have to roll a 15 to miss. That's just them getting desperate. Okay, then we go to your movement phase.
So the best infantry I've got will occupy the objective.
Okay, for defense, that would be 1, 2, and then I would put a 3rd platoon in there, and then leave the weapons platoon in the fort because he has a lower defense factor.
Yep. And the other 2 will come up the hill as well. Can they get to 410? 411 rather?
One of them can. Now that will invite some opportunity fire. So I'm going to go ahead and heavy weapon sections. That doubles to 16. Plus 6 makes 22 versus 8 is going to be 2 to 1. No bonuses. 5, disperse them. And that's op fire for these 2 guys. And then if they want, at the end of your turn, these guys can close assault. So let's just close out this side of the battle now. 21 to 10 is 2 to 1. Subtract 1 from the die roll, net.
3 becomes a 2.
On 2 to 1, that will do it. Alright, so that happened. I'd say Hill 881 South is secured.
The other one that I thought was a dead cert is actually the one that's become a problem.
Yeah, that one might not fall. In fact, the odds are kind of against it. Okay, so, but you never know. Alright, so then I'm assuming these guys are going to go ahead and charge up.
Yep.
Hey, opportunity fire, man. My bicycles. 2 to 6 is 1 to 3. Watch this happen. 4, nope, it didn't happen. Here it comes. We have a total of 21-31 versus 10 plus 7 is 17. Is 1 to 1 odds.
A 5.
No, that's not going to do anything. And that is more or less going to wrap up the game.
Yep.
Even if this guy rallies, which... Yes, he does. That's his turn. That pretty much completes NBA turn 10. And that is going to... I think it's going to be a draw.
Personally, I don't consider a helicopter unit to be a combat unit.
Yeah, that's true. It is a 0. You know what?
It's a flying truck. It might have a couple of machine guns on it, but...
It doesn't. Even by the rules of the game, you're absolutely right. Because a combat unit has to have an attack factor. I said that earlier. And the Seahorse has a 0 in combat strength. Or for an attack factor. So you're actually right. We just kind of put him there to clog up the hex.
But likewise with your truck, it wouldn't have made any difference if you'd actually moved in there.
Totally. But I was also trying to move in the bicycles. And I mean, the bicycles technically are combat. I know that sounds ridiculous, but they are light riflemen. Cool. So,
It's an expensive draw for the Marines.
Yeah, but that's exactly this is exactly what happened, except in reverse. On the day, April 30th, Operation Prairie IV, the Marines took 881 North and not 881 South. On the morning of the 2nd May, those same 2 companies went back up 881 South and found out that the Vietnamese had actually abandoned the position. They found over 250 bunkers and improved positions. So, yeah. So I definitely did not give the Marines enough support because initially it was only 1 airstrike from those Phantoms, but clearly I screwed that up. You were up against like +4. Blind strike is 1, woods is +2, fortification makes it +4, +10 to the defense. Yeah, I didn't design that part right. So we fixed that kind of in the middle of the game. Again, this game was kind of an experiment. So, Mr. Damon, what did you think?
I enjoyed it. It was good. It's about what I was expecting in terms of the way the fights usually go.
Right.
If the North Vietnamese stand and fight, they usually take a kicking, but at the same time, when they do fight, the Americans do take quite a heavy kicking as well.
And there you have it, folks. By taking Hill 881 South, Damon has fought my NVA to a draw. Interestingly, this is kind of an inversion of the historical results, at least on 30 April 1967, where the Marines were able to take Hill 881 North at the cost of 29 casualties. Hill 881 South, however, would cost the Marines 43 killed and 109 wounded, thus rendering my company, 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marines, completely combat ineffective, and they failed to take the hill. 881 South would not fall until the next day. As costly as it was, control of this high ground was going to pay big dividends next year when Khe Sanh came under real communist attack in January through March 1968. This is where the NVA tried to turn Khe Sanh into a second Dien Bien Phu, where they completely encircled the ill-starred French airfield with elevated artillery positions and put it under enough high explosive until they could overrun the place. Now, that wasn't going to happen at Khe Sanh, in part because the Marines were able to keep control of most of the high ground surrounding the vital base. But that's where we're going to leave it for now, folks. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Please remember to hit that notification bell. Also, please consider joining the Sitrep Podcast Discord. There is an auto-accept invitation link to our Discord in the description of this video. Join our community, see what everybody's up to, and best of all, show us what's happening on your hobby table. But for now, this is Oriskany Jim with the Sitrep Podcast. We are rounds complete for another episode. And as always, Tango Mike for watching.